screen. All right, so the next thing that we're going to get into is virtualization. What is virtualization? All right, so basically, like I think I might have covered this on a video, but when I'm planning for our next week's software exploration concept and overview to be about the 5 different stages of penetration testing, and I might throw in something about virtualization in there. But basically, it is being able to have a software on your computer where you can install other operating systems. Like you can separate your regular computer and what it's doing there from adding and from a virtualized environment where you can install, different versions of Windows, different versions. Some of them you can do Mac OS, you can do Linux. So we're going to be installing our virtualization environment today. And then we're going to install Kali Linux so that we can be able to work through our class, right? So let's get to why am I installing UTM? So what is UTM first, right? Let's go to what is UTM, right? So let's go over here. UTM virtual machine. All right, so UTM virtual machine. It's designed for Mac OS, right? With silicon chips. So silicon chips, those are the Mac CPUs, M1 chips, M2 chips, M3 chips, and now M4 chips as well. On the Intel, you're able to use VirtualBox. On Windows, you're able to use VirtualBox. Some people use VMware, but you have to pay for VMware. So VirtualBox is open source. I remember when I first tried to do a Linux course on my older MacBook, and I installed VirtualBox, and then I went to install the Linux version, and I couldn't because the M1 was not able to work with VirtualBox because of the whole Intel versus M1, right? Or versus the silicone chips. So now I see that they have UTM. So if you're on Windows, if you're on a Mac with Intel, then you can go ahead and install VirtualBox. It'll pretty much be similar. I haven't installed UTM yet on this computer, so we're gonna do that. But I'm installing UTM. If you're on a MacBook with a silicon chip, install UTM as well. I will drop the link for this in the chat. And I will also look at VirtualBox. So we can look at VirtualBox as well. It's from Oracle. And it's powerful open source virtualization. VirtualBox is a general purpose full virtualization software. You would download it. Let me drop that in the chat as well in case you need to download that if you haven't done so yet. And they probably have it for, yeah, they have it for Linux as well. So they say they have it for Mac Apple Silicon host. I don't know. I might try to install this at some point, but at least for now, I'll just stick with UTM. You know what? Let me see. Let me download it. Let me download it. Let's see what happens. Let me see what happens. It's downloaded. I'm curious. Now that I see that's the problem. When I see things, I'm like, all right, I gotta try it out. All right. So, anyways, let's get to installing. So there we go here, and UTM or VirtualBox. Let's start with VirtualBox. I can't help myself. Let's move this here, and we're gonna double click over here. Here we are. So let's install VirtualBox. Install. Put your password in. Let's see what happens. Because when I tried this like 2 or 3 years ago, it sadly told me,
do not come.
you know. So, all right, let's go. Okay, move the trash. All right, so now let's pull open VirtualBox. And I'll probably just do it on both of them, right? I'll do it on both. As Mitch would say, both of them. BOAF. All right, so welcome to VirtualBox. So I'm gonna install, you know what? I do what I want. I am going to install UTM as well. Because why should I have to pick between one or the other? Why can't I just have both, right? Why can't I have both? All right, so close that. And UTM. We're just gonna do both. Like how
dare you?
how dare they try to tell me I can only have one? No, I want both. All right, so I'm gonna do. Let's do it like this. Let's do UTM over here and VirtualBox. I can get it to act right. Whatever. VirtualBox over here. All right, so all right, so let's start off with all right, so what's new? Yada yada. All right, continue. Let's do create a new virtual machine, and I'm gonna do a new one here as well. And so let's go look at the instructions real quick, right? Let's go look at the instructions. So in order to, so from the Kali Linux site, right? Wherever it may be, from the Kali Linux site, they tell us, they walk us through how to install it on UTM, right? So basically we're gonna go to virtualize, and then we're gonna select Kali M1 installer, and go from there, right? So, and I have the boot image, all that good stuff. So, and then we need to have at least 4 gigs of memory, and we need 20 gigs of storage. Or is it 40? I'll go with 40. Let me see. All right, so let's give it a go. We'll do virtualize over here, and we're gonna do Mac to install Mac OS. No, that's not what I want. Go back. I want to do Linux, and it says. Oh, okay, I want to do other actually. So let's do other. And we're gonna say we're gonna get it from a I guess it's a CD/DVD image, I suppose. Let's go to make sure this shows up over here. We will go to browse ISO, and we're gonna go to download software Kali Linux. Open. And we will go to continue and go with that. I'm gonna go with 40 gigs for storage over here. And I don't want a shared directory. So let's name this UTM Kali Linux. And let's go with save. And I'm going to say that. All right, so that's doing its thing. While that's doing its thing, because it's going to take some time, Let's also, okay, or I guess we have to install it. Let's go to graphical install, right? Display app output is not active. So if I was to, what does that mean? Display output is not active. I know I can't see it. I don't know why I cannot see it. Let's go to, it says started, but I can't see it. Well, in the meantime, let's go to VirtualBox and we'll do VirtualBox TCR Kali Linux. ISO image. Let's go to other. Let's go to download software, Kali Linux. And we will, I was not planning on doing both, to be honest with you, but here we are. Let's give it a
lunch break.
Let's give it a 4 CPU and let's give it like 4 gigs of RAM. And so the reason I'm not going to break right away, because this can take some time to install. So I want to get this part done. So while we're on break, it could be installing. Let's go to next. And that should do it. Let's see what happens. VirtualBox, like, okay, let's do that. VirtualBox will not be able to monitor. VirtualBox will, so I'm getting this. VirtualBox will not be able to monitor input from your keyboard until it's quit. So we have to quit and reopen VirtualBox. Close that out. Okay, let's start that over. Let's do graphical install. All right, so that's actually, we actually see stuff happening in VirtualBox. So we might be able to pull it off VirtualBox. All right, so let's just finish this because it's gonna take some time for it to install. United States, American English, and all right, cool. I'll monitor it. What I'll do, let's go to break. And we will have a monitor happening for the other screen so that we can see if everything is on the up and up, all right? So let me add that monitor right now and then we'll go to break. So
we going back to the hood. Nah, never that. We going back to the hood. Nah, never that. You can have that. You can have that.
They say, give back to the hood where I came from. All I got was scars and battles I can't outrun. Bad habits and heartache weighing like a ton. Post-traumatic stress holding tight like a gun. They say, give back, but what did I receive? Battle scars etched deep, I can hardly breathe. Dusty streets and shattered dreams and dark heartache. Heavy PTSD rolling like a spark.
No going back, no ties to rewind. Left the hood's grasp far behind. Blood and tears ain't love I find. Freedom in the peace of my own mind.
What did the hood give me? Nothing but pain. Echoes of voices screaming in my brain, caring for my people while I stay in the rain. Hope sinking down like a chain in a hurricane. Bad habits whisper softly in my ear, memories of nights where I fought off fear. Hood ain't no haven, it's a haunting refrain. Echoes in my soul, driving me insane.
Grew up on cracked sidewalks and broken dreams. Echoes of sirens haunting my hopeful schemes. Dark shadows lingered under bright moonbeams. Streets that stole faith like it never seems.
We going back to the hood. Nah, never that. We going back to the hood. Nah, never that. You can have that.
A cycle of pain, wrapping stories untold. Eyes reflecting a future so cold. I'm moving forward on a path paved with gold. Survive a saga silently bold. Now I climb higher, leaving darkness behind. No more looking back, no more being blind. Caring for my people, but from afar, building dreams, even with these battle scars.
Bruises on my mind, winding like a maze. Left behind the hurt in those fiery days. Survived the storm while the world turned cold. Wasn't given gold, was left with stories untold.
No going back, no ties to rewind. Left the hood's grass far behind. Blood and tears ain't love I find. Freedom in the peace of my own mind.
We going back to the hood. Nah, never that. We going back to the hood. Nah, never that.
You can have that.
I'm not going back to those broken streets where shadows dance and despair repeats. Made it out from that concrete cage. I'm turning the page, I'm turning the page.